Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Traders Around the World. Welcome to your North American Into the Open session here with me, Z. I hope folks are doing very, very well. Looking forward to navigating markets here with you today. Let's get right into it. It's a interesting start to the day on the heels of a breakout to new all-time highs yesterday. Everything that I do and say here is for education and insight purposes only. It's not meant as advice. I am not a registered financial advisor or representative. You must consult yours before making any trading decisions. Trading involves risk, not just reward, risk of loss. Trade with money you can wholly afford to lose. When I trade, it's always in line with my risk trading plan, which is unique to me and might not be suitable to you. Consult your registered financial advisor and get a risk trading plan. Whether I'm discussing past trades taken, doing live trades in front of you, coming up with plans and projections for future potential trades or potential market outcomes, whether it's with respect to a live cash account, a demo account, or a prop trading account, it's all done for education and insight purposes only. It's not meant as advice. And finally, if I poll you in the chat and I give you an average response back to the poll, the sentiment there is not necessarily indicative of the sentiment of the entire group, just those responding. I don't audit the chat, so do take that stuff as anecdotal. A very good morning to everyone writing in, everyone logged in at, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders around the world. Let's get right into it, folks. So SpaceX and AMD are down. Markets are still up. We've had a pop-up in the euro. We've got hi-ho silver, gold and silver are shining brightly today. And give me a lucky number 7 in the chat if you heard on Monday, first thing, that this is the week where you're likely going to see gold and silver start to move. And consistently gave you the lines and the levels where you're likely going to see things start to get going. And we've gotten above them considerably. So what you're looking at right now is the euro futures on a daily chart. It's up. It's not up dramatically, but it's up about just over 0.1% at this moment in time. SpaceX, AMD are down, but is that really hurting the equity markets at this stage? Not dramatically. What's hurting the equity markets is the lack of bullish fuel available after such an expansive move we've seen since July the 30th. Let's go over and just dot the I's, cross the T's on gold and silver right now, because that insight was powerful, supported, provided to you at the very beginning of the week. So here's silver. It's popping up on your screen right now. It's currently up about 3.9%, just shy of 3.9%. It's not at its highs on the day, but what you heard from me is 58.75, 58.75 as a local area for long above. You heard it at around $60 and a nickel yesterday, I think was the number that you heard from me. And again, you heard somewhere around the $62.40 to $63 area. We're probably breaking out of this pattern here, which is a bottoming pattern after a late stage downtrend. Now, I don't think that we've got the breakout confirmed, but we're close enough at this stage to suggest that over the course of days to weeks, up to 1 to 3 weeks, we are probably going to see this bottoming process bloom into a bounce that can carry us a little higher. The problem with this situation, though, is the market is very extended, and there's positive correlations between silver and equity indices, especially things like the NASDAQ. So if the markets start to come down and start to falter, it can stall out this move. It can make this move stagnate a bit. So today, for those who are in swings or have been playing out gold and silver, one of the things to watch for is we've already had a big move up in silver. If the equity markets can't stretch out to higher highs, it may be a good idea to lock in gains and get ready to buy more once we've seen a pullback in the equity markets, i.e., the NASDAQ goes from 30,000 or 29,900 down to 29,500 and bounces up again. That would become an interesting rebuy opportunity. So that's one insight that I wanted to provide right away. If you want to make the decision right off the chart, the insight that I can provide is, look, if we come back down somewhere below roughly $61, we're probably going to back test the highs from yesterday and then go again. Somewhere down to $61, call it $61.25, would be an expected pullback on silver before the next rise. Let's go on and take a look at gold. So it's the bigger of the two metals. Now, it has gotten above a very important structure of resistance. It's a volume point of control level right here at around 42.35 to 42.40. What you heard from me earlier in the week is, while it's above 41.35, intraday, potentially overnight swings can become a thing this week. And indeed, it is a thing this week. We are seeing effectively a move that has taken us above 41.35 in yesterday's market. And then we launched from that area in today's session. So for those of you that are involved in this area, I hope it's been helpful. The waterline now that it's above is a 42.35, below 42.35. A pullback down towards 42.05 is very likely. Okay, but we are in a bottoming process, and we are indeed trying to break out of that bottoming process to start an initial bullish uptrend. Both gold and silver are positively correlated with equity indices in general. They can disconnect at times, of course, and we know that the equity indices are very, very stretched. So let's go and take a look at the equity indices and where they are. Before I do that, let's dot the I and cross the T on geopolitics. Oil's come down dramatically, Sunday night, Monday, and then yesterday was 5% Sunday night, Monday versus Friday, 5.1%. It was 6.5% yesterday. So this is not strange that we're seeing oil up 1% or so in today's market, at an area where there is local support. It's not strange that we're seeing that. We've already seen a very harsh move down on oil, which has been beneficial to the equity indices, of course. But at this stage, we're not going to get any more geopolitical positive fodder from oil on the equity indices. That's already baked into the cake. So think about it this way. You're not getting geopolitical fodder to the upside. You've got SpaceX and AMD down 11 and 8% respectively, thereabouts. You've got an overcooked market that has been a rocket ship up since July the 30th. Add those together and you tell me, do you think that today is going to be a day where we continue going straight up? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Do you think that today is going to be a day that we're going to go straight up again? I know I'm leading you to the answer no. Obviously, you can hear that in my tone. But look, stranger things have happened. It could potentially continue on higher. So we have to make some provision for that. But we have to also understand, the basic facts over here. We're overcooked. You don't have good news on earnings in general, okay, into today. Okay, we do have a data point coming out at 10 a.m., the services, ISM services PMI. So that could potentially pick things up, potentially. So we'll have to watch for that at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But look, you've got an overcooked market that has already done an incredible job. It's been moving straight up like a rocket ship since July the 30th. You don't have you don't have any incremental geopolitical positives coming from a direction in oil. We're not guessing at it. We're looking at oil on the screen right now. It's up about 1%. So where is this market going? Well, let's go and take a look at things, and we'll make provision for the upside, but we'll also really focus in on where the downside risks can start as well. So let me take you over to this chart right over here. So this is the S&P E-minis on a day-over-day candlestick chart basis. And the channel that's on screen here, the top of the channel, this is a channel. It's a 2 standard deviation linear regression channel that goes back to October of 2022. Okay, so this is a very important structure that we've been operating largely within, sometimes around, but largely within. So when we look up at the top over here, the top of the channel can act like a magnet. It's at 78.50, right? We're at the 78.06 area. So could there be another 30, 40, 50 points of potential upside? Yes, there could be. However, hey there, Bruno, there could be. However, we have to be very, very realistic about whether it's durable up in that territory. And my answer to the question of, is it durable? Probably not, right? Probably not. So if we do get a direct rise out of the gates here in several minutes from now, if buying just starts again and we continue to see squeeze and FOMO and whatnot, well, 78.50 is where we would potentially be targeting for the S&P E-minis. Now, how do you make a decision on where's the danger areas if it's going to come back down again? Well, let me just take you over to this chart over here. And what I'm going to do is just point out a couple of things. We don't have street lights, well-paved road. We're in no man's land on the S&P E-minis. We haven't been up in this territory before. So these are new all-time highs. So the basic mechanics to make decisions over here is if we come down below the close from yesterday's market, which we, by the way, came back and back tested at 4 a.m. Eastern time, roughly, and we bounced back up from there. So the market is not giving in. just as of yet. You'll see it in the technical picture when I pull it up on the screen in just a moment. It's not giving in. But if we come back down below roughly 77.75, downside risks grow. Downside risks grow to levels of support, structures of support that are rising underneath price. And we're going to get that directly off of our multi-time frame dashboard in just a second. So remember 77.75. That's the whole point of that of the risk conversation over here. Below there, downside risks start to grow. Okay, let's go take a look at the actual formation of price inside the day right now. Here it is. Okay, so there's the action from yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon's action. Where's the close yesterday? Cash close somewhere in and around here, right there. See where I'm pointing to? Okay, we did drift above there, made higher highs in the overnight session. We came back and back tested the closing area from yesterday, and we bounced up again. Now we're at the top of a 2 standard deviation channel that is leaning into the open right now. The NASDAQ is getting bought right now. It's actually getting pushed up. It's at the 29,955-ish area, and the ES is making higher all-time highs as we approach the open. Again, this could easily be a trap, but if it's gonna melt up, what we ideally would want to see is an oscillation back down to the center of the channel and then pick up the bounce off of there. If it goes straight up like a rocket ship, I'm going to have a hard time wanting to trade that. I might try to scalp it, but I'm going to have a hard time wanting to trade that. So one of the tactics on the ES outside of the danger line, 77.75, if we come back down to the center of this channel, which is roughly 7,800, and we form a bounce there, that could become a trade. Okay, a rocket ship straight up might be difficult to trade. So those are a couple of concrete insights for you there on the ES. Here's the NASDAQ. On the NASDAQ front, we've gotten through so many structures of resistance further than I thought we would. I thought we'd be mired in this resistive area where we had a whole bunch of volume point of controls. We got well into it yesterday. We ended up closing above the 29,800 marker. My assessment that I provided you earlier in the day yesterday was, hey, we can come up there, but then we're going to start to move back down towards 29,500. So we got up to 29,900s, I think, in yesterday's market, and we're there right now. Right, we're in that spot right now, and we're breaking through structures of resistance. Let's get a little more detailed view here. But before I even do that, where are we going up to? Well, the top of the channel. If we are going to continue rising, 30,500 is the target area. Okay, similar to the 7,850 target area for the ES, 30,500 would be the target area for the NQ. Now, there is a beaten path over here. We do have, data and history and price action that's traversed this area. So where are the danger lines over here? Well, look, if we come up to this node of volume profile resistance at roughly 30,025 points and we breach it, we open the door to get sucked up into this hollow area of the volume profile histogram, which takes us up into the upper 30,200s, 30,260 to 75-ish area. And we are getting bought right out of the gates. I'm seeing the ES move up like a rocket ship right out of the gates, but the NASDAQ's doing something slightly different. So we're going to get a closer look at that in just a second here. My insight to you on the NASDAQ, just to dot the I's, cross the T's on this, if we come back down below 29,900, watch your back. If we come down below 29,800, we are probably in a retrace back down to 29,500, where we would expect a bounce. Any pullback action here could also take some of the shine off of precious metals. So I want to make sure that you hear that as well. So here's the NASDAQ with a little bit more detail on a 5-minute chart. I don't have a channel put on it, but it would be near the top of the channel. The most important insight, again, is resistance exists at 30,025 points. If we come down below 29,900 points, there is some danger. There is warning. There is definitive danger in my mind. If we are below 29,800 for a drop of about 300 points down to the 29,500 area. Let's now convert this over to a very technical conversation in terms of, where things are at using our multi-time frame dashboard. And of course, we'll look for some trades too. So let me get that up on your screen right now. So what you're looking at is the NASDAQ. It's the MNQ that I'm going to be trading at these nosebleed highs. I'm not going to trade the full mini contract. What I want you to see over here is, the signaling in the now as we, move into the open here. We're getting the NASDAQ slightly bought out of the gates. It's not dramatic. We've only had a couple of minutes so far. We are seeing some compression in the speed lines right now. and I'm seeing a sell signal start to form on the 5-minute chart. The 1-hour chart's still in a buy signal state. Obviously, it has come up to a negative momentum shift, perforated it. The door is open for us to bounce back up, but look at what price is doing right now. We're at 29,950. We're not below the first danger line, 900. Second danger line, 800. The ES is starting to pull back actually in a grander fashion at this moment in time. Let me actually take you there for a brief moment so you can take a look at that. So yeah, the daily chart's buy signal state, 4-hour chart, buy signal state. It's a little exhausted. I'm going to dock these so we have a little less busyness on the screen over here. And I'll pull the 1-hour chart to dock it as well. The risk line is 7,800. We just had a pump and dump, and now it's trying to get back on its feet. This does not look stable enough to trade, so I'm not trading it. I'm not going to trade it. I'm going to wait. Now, that might mean I might miss out because we do have a well-aligned buy signal state. We can't avoid that. Even though we're at these nosebleed highs, even though we're in this rarefied air, even though we have got direct evidence that we have effectively run out of bullish fuel, we can still go up on fumes. We saw a lot of that type of behavior yesterday, the melt-up behavior, the FOMO behavior, the continuous squeezes of shorts on the way up. And right now, I don't think I've got anything that I want to just buy into. I'm going to be patiently waiting. I'm going to go back to the NASDAQ now for you. The NASDAQ is doing fairly good. It's up at 30,000. It could make a move up to 30,025 points. Impulse to buy is there. Triple S is there. I don't feel comfortable buying a rocket ship out of the gates, but the momentum is at this time of the day. If we take out the high of the last close 1-minute bar, I'm going to try a quick scalp on the long side. I'm going to do it with only 2 micros if it does present. I can't deny the fact that we're still in stage 3 of the CTP buy sequence. We're in a triple S buy. There's your triangle. We're holding above the speed lines. All of the things that you would be looking for when the market's not at all-time highs and not in these nosebleed highs is in play. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so I've hit my buy order. I'm in for just 2 contracts on the MNQ. It's a very small trade. But if the momentum wants to continue, I'll try to take advantage of it. There is grave risk of being whipsawed right back down, right? At some point, there's going to be a mass consensus of profit taking that takes place. This trade is profit positive, looks good. Let's see if it keeps running. If it keeps running, great. Indecision, if that bar turns red, I have to get out of the way. So there was some profit, and it ended up being a 20 bucks loss. The bounce off of the speed lines could become an opportunity. If one is still holding the trade, the slow speed line would be the final exit, 986 roughly. So if anyone got anything out of that, kudos to you. I didn't exit it quite in time to capture the profit. I'm not going to chase it again. If I see a higher high and if I see enough strength behind it, and the ES is continuing to move up, I might decide to join the group and play it again. We'll have to see. Right now, no, just waiting. Just going to wait patiently and see if we get that push up to a higher high. The ES is encouraging it. I'm trying it again right now. Now, I know that this is resistance, but we've got the momentum to break through it. If we don't directly break through it, I have to get the heck out of the way. If that bar goes redder and goes down below the fast speed line, I'm going to get out of the way. I'm out of the way. I'm out of the way. So now, couple of trades at the highs have not worked out for me, right? So there should be some evidence at this stage that, hey, this is going to be harder. This is not going to be the easiest day. Looks like some folks did take the trade and got in and out with a gain. That's amazing. I'm happy to hear that. So that's the worry though, right? That exactly what's happening right now is exactly what I was worried about. Now, does that mean I want to flip to the short side? Not necessarily. But we do know that below 900, we've got the warning. 29,900, we've got the warning. Below 7,800, pretty much even on the ES, we've got a warning. We're not below those numbers just as of yet. The NASDAQ is sitting at what, 920 at this moment. The ES is sitting at 78.07. So we're not quite yet in that spot where we've got that first real warning, but you can obviously see the size of the candle. It's there. And if we come down below 900, I am very likely going to try to short it for a 25-point trade down to the champion trend buy zone trail line on the 5-minute chart. Let's see if that happens. This can still be very, very choppy and just simply be a market that tries to keep coming back up to the highs and getting high on fumes, and then eventually those run out, and then the whole thing starts to come back down again. But there it is. And Suraj, that's exactly right? The whole point of me doing that was to show you that, hey, I'm using small size. I'm going to be in and out very quickly. Okay, it's less likely that I'm going to be, extraordinarily successful at a breakout that just keeps rocket shipping higher. It's more likely that the market's going to pull back. And I think what we're seeing on the S&P front and the NASDAQ front are pullbacks into support structures where, yeah, another attempted bounce can happen, but we're very close to the danger or warning lines where things can start to come unglued as well. So I want to be very careful with that overall. Bear with me for 1 second over here. I'm just trying to get my chat up on the screen so I can actually read what folks are writing at the same time as trying to trade and talk, which is always a fun challenge each day. So there's a nice little reversal, right? There's a nice little reversal. It's happening on the ES and the NQ at effectively the same time. So they're very well coordinated. Let's see if we get some continuation over here, because if it's making another run for 30,025, it's likely going to break it. This is the time of day where it could likely break it. What I don't like doing is taking longs on when I'm dealing with the slow spike on the spike 2.0 pointed down, despite the buy signal that I've got on the triple S indicator. But what I've got on the triple S indicator is the blue line is more flattened out than pointing straight up on that 1 minute chart. We know we're in a buy signal state on a 5 minute chart. Well, not triple S at this moment, but a champion trend pack. We know we're in a buy signal state on the hourly charts. We don't need to go through that backdrop. Backdrop is supportive on chart. Fuel is light. We don't have any more geopolitical positives, incremental positives coming from another major decline on oil. We've got some negatives from SpaceX and AMD. We've got obviously a very overcooked, overbought market. We do have data coming out at 10 a.m., which is the ISM Services PMI. ISM stands for the Institute of Supply Management. PMI stands for Purchasing Manager Index, and it's a survey data point, which can give us an indication of, hey, are folks booking more services, and at what price? Are there inflationary pressures? So we'll see how the market handles that, but that's 20 minutes from now. That might as well be a universe away. Okay, that's a big enough move, reversal up, for me to try the entry again. I'm trying it again right here. I got in late, so I'm trying the entry again. I'm seeing the ES also deliver for me at this stage. So let me just show you the ES at this stage. I think I might have to get out of that trade, but let me bring the ES on the screen here for you first. So what you're seeing on the ES side is it also popped up to make that higher high in the 78.20-ish area, and it's bouncing up off of the speed lines. So my trade is actually in the money right now, but it's very volatile. It's very volatile, right? I should effectively take profit. It looks like my machine is giving me some problems here. Apologies for that. But let's see if I can just get the heck out of the way and take some profit off of this trade after all of that endeavoring. So I was able to get profit off of that trade, which is good. And now on the ES front, let's see where we're at. It's tagging the highs, struggling to get higher. So I am still looking at a market right now that is very struggled to continue going up. It's still signaled up. We did open the door above 30,025, which is a resistance band. I showed that to you a little earlier here on this chart right there. Right, so right in the center of that node, 30,025 is the resistance band that we would need to get through. But if you look at this behavior, if you've been listening in, especially if you've recently become a Triple S student, you'll note when I put this channel on the screen that this is not necessarily a healthy area for price to continue going straight up. Let me see what's going on. I think I've got a little slowdown happening on my machine, so my apologies. It should look a little different than that, but this is on me right now. I think I've got too many browsers open. So anyways, I'm going to just forego that structure on the screen. The whole point is it's at the top of that channel. If you put that channel in and it calculates, we're at the top of that channel. The same way that we are with the ES on a 5-minute basis. Let's go over to the ES on a 5-minute basis here. There it is. I think it's on this chart above the top of the channel, right? This is not an area where it would be normal to expect price to sustain. This would be an area where you'd expect things to come back down. Now, I don't want to talk down the market. I don't want to talk up the market. I want to see exactly what's there. We're overextended against recent structures from the overnight session. We're overbought. We don't have the same level of geopolitical positives. We've got negatives from SpaceX and AMD. We do have a slightly stronger euro, weaker dollar. Metals have gotten going. And it's not just precious metals. Base metals also got going as well. So, there is positivity in that complex. And that might be a better area to focus in on from a day trading standpoint. But we've already seen such an expansive move in the overnight session. So I'm not really going to jump over and focus to, go day trade silver or something like that right now. But it's a consideration. It's a consideration. So at this stage, I'm not really seeing anything yet that gives me the goods to go. It's going to roll over. I've got the condition of extraordinarily stretched in place, which, just base case says it's going to be harder to stay up and high. It's more likely going to have to come down to refuel at some point here. So let's give it some time here and see what we can get going out of it. And bear with me for just a second or two here while I just minimize a couple of charts on my other screen. And Simon, so the 10 a.m. news is the one that's the more important one, right? That's the one that's the more important one. And George, on the ES slingshot, you got that right. You got that right. The slingshot actually happened right before the open, right? But there was a space in between each bar on a 1 minute chart basis. So not perfect slingshot. You want to see no more than 3 bars of separation. The perfect slingshot is 1 bar right after the other, right? You have the down, you have the up, and the down takes you below the MSR, the up takes you back up above the MSR, and go, go, go. But it can still work with no more than 3 bars of separation. So good eye on that. Well, I'm happy to hear that, Bob H. That's great. This is more of a slingshot pattern right over here, if you're wondering, than the pre-trade conditioning pattern, because we've got 2 triangles. We have a down that took us below the MSR channel, and then we have 1 bar of separation and an up that took us above the top of the MSR channel. This pattern is in its strongest form if the candles are back to back, right? You have a down that takes you right below the channel, and then the very next bar, the up slingshot right back up above there. And you can have it the reverse way, right, as well. The pattern is a little weaker when you have 1, 2, or 3 bars of separation. It's not a slingshot pattern if it's more than 3 bars of separation. But we're still grinding up here, folks. I'm sitting back going, hey, I'll lower my exposure and I'll just go for the ride. And I've got a breakout above the negative momentum shift here. The ride is still on. Let's see if I got in at anywhere decent. Looks like I got in at somewhere decent. Let's see if it holds. If it just reverses right back down towards the breakout forecasters, maybe this buy sequence is over. But I've reduced it down to 1 micro, right? To be very, very careful in this area. So I want to see that impulse to buy reset and immediately shoot right back up above the top of the channel. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And the ES is saying it might not. The ES is coming down more harshly at this stage. So it might be a good idea for me to just risk manage myself right out of this. I want to wait for that next bar on the ES and see if it's going to go green. It's trying to, so I'm still holding the trade. Yep, so the ES is trying to come back into the 1 minute charts MSR channel as support. It's struggling to do so. And this trade is not profit positive. It's flat. So I'm going to give it a moment here to see if I can see it grow. There we go. It's growing. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm taking profit while I've got it. I'm taking profit while I've got it. So that was another, 13 points or so. So not bad. But again, this is not my preferred market to want to be, doing a lot of frequency in trading. The role that I'm trying to fulfill, though, is I know folks are going to want to trade it. So I'm going to try to pick the most choiceful areas and demonstrate it for you. But the next move that I think is the bigger move to trade overall is the down move in the market, is coming back down. If we get this thing coming back down, we break 7,800 on the ES, we come down to 77.75. that gets broken. And remember, we tested that 77.75 area, which was yesterday's close, roughly. We tested it around in the 4 a.m. Eastern time hourly bar, in the pre-market, and we bounced up off of it. So longs are still in force. But if we come back down towards it again, we're not back testing it to see if it's support. That's done already, right? We'd be coming down to break it. So that's why below 7,800, I'm thinking more short in general for the ES, certainly below 77.75. Hey there, Mark S. So now what about the immediate now? Well, the immediate now, we've seen the NASDAQ get above a minor volume profile node of resistance at 30,025 points. It's holding above there. We are in an aligned buy signal state in a market that's exhausted. It's running on fumes. You got a negative from SpaceX and AMD, but it's not quitting. You don't have any incremental positives today coming from the geopolitical side, but it's not quitting. And the ES has come right back up. So that momentum shift, this momentum shift right over here, is that what you're asking about, Mark? So if we break out above that red ball and white line, the opportunity to engage another long comes into force. And the insight on the NQ is, while we remain above resistance of 30,025 points, we've actually opened the door to potentially rise up to 30,260, 75-ish odd points. It's hard for me to imagine that will happen. But again, it was hard for me to imagine that we get above 29,800 in yesterday's market. And we did. It's a market. It can do what it wants. If we breach that negative momentum shift here, I could try another long. I do want to see coordinated action between the ES and the NQ, and that's not what's happening. Look at the shape of the 1 minute chart. It's kind of a dip into the rising support and a bounce back up. That's not what we have right now on the ES. We've got something very different on the ES at this moment in time, right? The ES is giving you a dip down. It's not been able to come back up. It's not near its local high, right? It's stuck in the channel at this stage, and it's on a sell signal, which again is headed down closer towards 7,800. And when we're day trading the 5 minute chart. We do have the PTC pattern in motion. It's not engageable yet on the 5 minute chart, but I'm going to try a short on the ES imminently here. I think I'm going to try it below 04, 7804, 7805, actually below 7805. I'm going to try a quick short here, see if I get any effectiveness out of it. I don't want to get whipsawed. There we go. There's a nice little run. Okay. Now I've only been in the trade for 8 seconds, but guess what? At the 10-second mark, I'm taking my $250 of profit. So not a bad location. Did anyone else get that trade? That was, I don't know, a $250 trade. And obviously I did not stay in it beyond that time, but it looks like, hey, Emma, kudos to you. Amazing. So that happened. Now we have come down below the 7,800 marker. This is now a door that is open to come back down to yesterday's close, to where, if you look over here on the very left-hand side of the screen. So what we did yesterday was close in and around this 77.75-ish area, 77.80-ish area. We continued to expand above there in the overnight. We came back and back tested it on the 4 a.m. Eastern time hourly bar. We bounced. We made the higher high, but this is a bearish reversal candle. So now comes the question of, hey, can I get on that short side of the trade here? Can I do it on the NASDAQ as well? And the answer should be yes, but it's not as cooked on the down. It's not ready to go on the NQ as much as it was on the ES. Right, we're still above the 1 minute chart MSR channel on the NQ, and the ES broke below 7,800, but it's now back above it by a couple of points. But here you go. Okay, so remember the PTC pattern, the pre-trade conditioning pattern. Okay, it involves having a minimum of 3 triangles from the triple S indicator, right? Separated by no more than 6 bars. So there's 1, there's 2, there's another. That's the 3rd. That's the 4th. We don't have separation of more than 6 bars. Then what are we looking for? 1 bar closing below the MSR channel with the double red dots. We have not closed, right? The double red dots are there, but we have not closed below the bottom of the channel. Or we need 2 bars sequentially moving lower, one lower than the other, below the bottom of the channel. So in this case, if this bar implodes back down to its lows, it's still got half its life to live, about 2.5 minutes to go. If it does implode back down to the low with the double red dots, then the pattern is in force. Just remember, you're not in a sell signal state on an hourly chart. You're not in a sell signal state on a 4-hour chart or a daily chart. So if you're going to take a high probability technical pattern on a 5-minute time frame, as high probability as the PTC setup is, we have to consider the backdrop of the signals. So one of the ways to mitigate some of the, some of that cross current risk is to ensure that at least on an hourly chart, we've come down below support structures. And that would mean coming down below 77.96. So guess what? That would be good enough. If we come down below 77.96, it would mean we'd be closing at the bottom of this bar. And if we close the bottom of this bar with the double red dots, I'm going to try another short. Now, could this actually egg on more of a short on the NQ as well? Or is the NQ trying to actually lift the ES up? It's the latter. It's the latter. The NQ is trying to stabilize the negativity that we're seeing in the ES. And you can see it, in all of its glory over here. We are not below the MSR channel bottom on that 1-minute chart. We are not below the champion trend buy zone trail line on that 1-minute chart. And the NQ is in a buy signal state on a 1-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart. And the daily chart's poked up above the top of its champion trend sell zone trail line. So this is not a market yet that has said, yeah, we're giving in. It's not there yet. Now, how are folks doing? Just let me know. How are folks doing? If you're all under control and doing well, you can type the letter Y. You can give me a lucky number 7. And exactly, Simon, it's exciting to see. Are the Bulls going to win? Are the Bears going to win? But let's take the excitement down and just go focus. I'm good. I'm good, Harsh. I'm good. I'm doing well. Okay, now I want to see if we can get a consistent movement between the NQ and the ES on the short side. Ideally, it would just be cleaner. But what I want is not necessarily what will happen. Oh, everything went well, Rodney, yesterday. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Feeling top of the tower. And I like that. I like what you put in the chat there, Kevin M. Staying cool, not taking many trades at this level, which makes sense, right? It makes sense. Sultan, that's still amazing, though. Good job. Keep it, right? That's the key. That's the key now. Keep that profit, right? While we're in this little choppy area, trying to figure out whether or not the NQ wants to grow up and pull the ES higher, which is what it's leaning towards. Let's see. Let's see what we get. It's slowed down dramatically right now, interestingly enough. The market was a lot faster in its range of movement, and I'm seeing it slow down to a snail's pace at this stage, which is not a bad thing, but it also could be like the deer in headlights, right? Everyone's waiting to see someone on the left, someone on the right, who's going to make the big move. And of course, thank you, Christian. Thank you, Donna. And yes, we do have data at 10 a.m., right? We've got the ISM, the Institute of Supply Management's Purchasing Manager Index on the services side breaking at 10 a.m. Eastern time. The macro from the standpoint of economic performance is important. Absolutely it is. But it is not in the driver's seat to open wallets, close wallets in this market week so far. It's policy in Bank of Japan. It actually is economic data in the Eurozone. It is earnings plays, and above everything is the geopolitical environment, which we saw in oil coming down 5%. Over 5% on Monday's futures market, over 6.5% or around there yesterday. we've seen a great positive from that. That's why one of the reasons we're up here. And of course, we did have some earnings plays that helped as well. And a break of the MSR channel, Bart, like if we break out above the top of the MSR channel or break down below, it's breaking. It's like a level, right? You're breaking a support level, a resistance level, or a support level. Right now, both the ES and the NQ are trapped in their 1 minute chart MSR channel. Both are above the top of their 5 minute charts MSR channel. Both have pulled back from their local highs. And we did get above a level. We're not there right now, but on the NQ, we did get above 30,025 points, which is a resistance structure where if price remains above, we've got another 200, 250 points of potential upside on the NQ, believe it or not. And, yesterday, I was, as many market participants were looking at the market continue to melt up, you're in disbelief. Right? Hey there, Derek. But it can happen. Right? Squeezes, FOMO, however you want to term it. I'm sure people will do the post-op review over the next couple of days, and it'll be everywhere. But it doesn't matter to us right now. What matters to us right now is, hey, look, we're back above 30,025 points. We're seeing the Nasdaq pull the ES up. The ES has actually moved into a buy signal state on the SSS indicator now, and it's happening in a good location. It's actually happening in the lower half of the channel on the 1 minute chart. The 5 minute chart is in a buy signal state as well now on top of that. So I'll let this get all fashioned up. It looks like I got some sort of a system slowdown. I don't know what's going on, but I'll have to figure it out. But there you go. So you've got your buy signal state on the 1 minute chart. You're above the MSR channel. And what was potentially the PTC pattern on the short side, did it confirm? Nope. We needed to see it below 77.96. No, we've got the opposite. We've got the PTC potentially on the upside now. And we are in a buy signal state on a 1 minute chart. The buy signal that's coming on the 5 minute chart is in an expensive area. This is not where I like to take long side trades when I'm getting my SSS indicator giving me a buy signal in the uppermost quadrant of a downward sloping channel to boot. Right? So this is not ideal. But the ship is trying to turn back up again. Let's see if the Nasdaq does a good enough job of keeping us up there. It needs to break through all of those negative momentum shifts. This is just a hornet's nest. This is not a great area to trade. Above, effectively, that negative momentum shift, that red ball and that white line that my crosshairs are at right now, roughly 30,075 points. Above there, sure, the door is open for more long. But alas, we are getting data. And what did the data say? I haven't even looked at the results. It's probably not good. The prices paid on the services side came in above and the total number came in below. That's my guess. But bottom line, it was not a positive for the market. So let's see. So Tim P, 54.1 versus 54.5. Is that what I'm seeing in terms of the result? And then the prices paid, was that like above or below the consensus? So it doesn't seem like a big miss if it was a 54.1, right? Negative to the dollar. How's that treating precious metals is now my question. My system resources are taxed at this moment, so I'm sitting back going, I don't have my day trade 2 template up. Did silver go higher? It came up to the highs of the day. Same with gold, I think. Yep, higher highs. So that was positive. It's negative for the equity markets. Now, is there a short to be had here? I think so. Break that champion trend buy zone trail line, and I'm going to try to get into a high risk early short, because we're coming down below the second last breakout forecaster on that 5 minute chart. We're working ourselves out of the buy signal state. SSS is tentatively in a sell on the NQ on a 1 minute and 5 minute chart. You can see the red triangle above the 1 minute and the 5 minute bar. We still have support structures that we need to get down through, i.e. 900. But if this starts to rocket down below that champion trend buy zone trail line, which it's trying to, I'm going to take on one short. I'm in. It went profit positive right away. Been in the trade for 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds, and profit taking. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to do it again, probably below 900. Probably below 900. 930 is the slow speed line on the hourly chart. Let's just go see what other structures that we have to deal with over here on the 4-hour chart. Are we in a 922? So 900 is still the right number. What about on the daily chart? No, 900 is still the right number. So below 900 would be the next credible short opportunity. Trying to short it here is dangerous. Could bounce off of rising support. So I took an opportunistic short to break down towards 900. We came down to about the 900 and teens, 916, 917. Now, I don't want the 30 points down to 900. I want it below 900. 900 to 800 is fairly clean from a short standpoint. And there's no guarantee that it's going to work or it's going to present itself for me to trade. So I'm going to wait. Did anyone get that last short? Let me know. And Gus, the best thing that I can say is, look, I've got lots of broadcasting software going on at the same time. But if you're on your side, if you're ever dealing with your PC slowing down, the way to manage it is just close all the browsers, right? Browsers suck memory and are a hog. Another option is, when you're in the room, maybe do that on a tablet and then have your trading computer separate, right? That would be another idea. And David C., very good point. Very good point. ESVWAP around 7804. 7800 was a waterline that I diagnosed earlier. So we know 7800 and 7796 are the two numbers now that I'm going to be watching, but 7804 could be the early entry on the short, right? If this does decide to continue being beaten up. Look, there's a litany of reasons to suggest that the market has a pullback that's healthy. There's a litany of reasons for that. But just because you build a case doesn't mean you're going to win it, right? You got to go to trial. So we're in the trial right now. We're presenting arguments. The arguments are SpaceX, AMD, down, overcooked market, lack of geopolitical positives, data that didn't come out that great, but a market that has busted most of the shorts that could have couldn't even imagine that the market could go higher, and it did. So we're dealing with open air right now. We're dealing with a market that is it's definitely burnt, right? The cake is baked, it's burnt, but apparently it can still be cooked, down to a crisp, and maybe used as fuel later. Who knows? But this this market's so cooked, I don't think it's even going to be good for animal feed. Nonetheless, we come back up above 30,025 points. We're on a journey back up towards the negative momentum shifts, and up we can go. I doubt that that's going to be the case, but look, my 1-hour chart slow momentum line on the Triple S tool is still firmly pointing up. This market has not turned back down until that line at minimum flattens out. And it's the same deal on the ES, right? You hear me say it to students all the time. The first thing I do when I wake up and I look at the market from a day trading standpoint, and what am I going to do? I look at the slope of the blue line on the 1-hour chart. So the Triple S blue line, slow momentum line, the king and the queen line, it's still sloping up. There's a bias top. That bias is stressed. It's being challenged. You can see the 5-minute charts line is starting to slope down on the ES, on the NQ as well. The 5-minute chart line is starting to flatten out to slope down, which is the thin edge of the wedge. It's potentially the beginning of the turn, but choosing the location that makes the most sense for the trade has to be done. So right now, nothing for me to do. It's trying to get its bearings again and its footing again against rising support structures on the 5-minute chart. It's trying to get back up above resistive structures. You can see it's technically damaged. The channel has gone magenta. Not a good time to trade. Wow, I was just looking at the chat to see how many folks caught that last short, and it looks like so many of you did. Way more than I expected. That's amazing. Well done, folks. Now, slowing the roll right now, waiting for clarity is what the mode that I'm in, at least at this moment. You know, what I'm encouraging is just be objective. You've got rapidly oscillating signals on the ES. We're going sideways. We've got more arguments that would support down, but our 1 hour charts slow momentum line on the FFF tool is still pointed up. We're starting to see that potentially, you know, get flattened out by way of the 5 minutes blue line starting to slope down a bit, but it's not yet a bearish state that we're in. In fact, we're trying to get our footing back to going long again. Dare I say it? I might start getting interested in a long. I don't want to get long on this market, though. You know, really, but there are 75 potential points from where we are, 65 potential points from where we are to the real breakout area. Above 30,000 or about 75 points, there's another potential 200 points higher. Another potential 200 points higher. And Sleepy Trader, that's a good tip. Gus, you were asking for this, so Sleepy Trader offered up in the chat. Tip for wealth charters, I use a completely separate... Sleepy Trader, I'm guessing you're okay with me reading it out? Just let me know in the chat. Cool. So Sleepy Trader writes, tip for wealth charters, I use a completely different or separate browser, Vivaldi, for my wealth charts, and I set it up to be very basic and minimalistic so that it's fast and it's in its own app, right? In wealth charts also, in the data refresh speed, you have the fastest setting on there. You can do that in your wealth charts user settings. The data refresh speed should be fastest. Yeah, it uses more energy, but it's the energy that we need to use. Okay, so I'm tempted to take the long above 25 up to 75. I'm just going to say that right now. 30,025 up to 30,075. I'm tempted. Okay, what am I doing about it? Nothing yet. I've got a tentative buy signal in motion on the 1 minute chart. I've got technical damage. I'm in a sell signal state with the FFF indicator on the 5 minute chart, while I'm in a weakened buy signal state from the champion trend pack on the same 5 minute chart. That's a muddled mess. Do I want to step in that? I might not be able to get that off my shoe. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that right now. I'm literally giving you my live stream of logic as I'm trying to make the decision. But if I see, I'm going to be attracted to the acceleration above 25. If we accelerate above the wick of the last 1 minute bar, we have a high probability to come back up and test the negative momentum shifts and the champion trend sell zone trail line on that 1 minute chart. So there might be a pocket there. What would I ideally like to be able to do? I want to be able to go whole hog short this market. Okay, but and maybe that might present now. We don't know. But I know the location that I want to short below, and that location is 900. Right, 930, it can get interesting, but 900, 905, somewhere in that area, it's a lot cleaner. And we did the back check, right? The time frames in the past to identify support structures from the bigger time frames. Below 900, we're fairly clean down to 800. But again, if we get some acceleration here above, roughly 30,030 points, I'm tempted to try to take some points up to the test of the champion trend sell zone trail line. It would have to be a very quick trade. And you got thanks from a lot of folks, Sleepy Trader. Exactly, Rich. 10-second trade is what it would be. Yeah, if it materializes, right? I don't even know if we're going to get it. We'll see. But I want to keep the accounts positive. They're already positive. I want to keep them positive. I want to make sure I take choiceful decisions. I don't want to play and chop. And we have to agree that on a 1 minute chart, this is, you're in the channel. And the channel's technically, it's giving you the signal that it's technically damaged. It's magenta. Let's see where this goes. It's not given up. That's the thing. The up has not given up. And what I'm seeing more of is the NASDAQ is trying to come in and pick up the slack from the ES. I've seen a little bit more of that on the day. So Norm H, I tend to find Chrome is the best for me on wealth charts, but I'm interested to see what this Vivaldi browser does that Sleepy Trader was talking about. So I might actually give it a try on that and see if that helps me. I'm not going to do it live right now, but that might be interesting. But I found that Chrome has worked the best. Now my situation is a little different, right? Because I've got lots of software that has to run to do what I do. Well, Donna, that's a good goal to have, right? And I understand the time pressure on that too. We all feel it, right? Oh, and I know folks are looking for deals on like FFF accounts and others. I've got it worked out now with the FFF team, Wealth Charts team. There's a coupon code that you can put in, or a whatever promo code that you can put in. It's my first name, ZIAD or ZIAD, and it'll give you the best discount available when you're purchasing FFF accounts. I'm not trying to sell anything to you. I'm just letting you know. I know folks have asked me about that. So the next time you go in to grab an FFF account, you can just use the promo code, which is my first name, Z or ZIAD. Okay, let's go see. Where is this going? Are we going to get a pop-up above the 30,030 point marker? And do I get to take on a long or what? Are we going to oscillate ourselves, death by 1,000 ticks here? And eventually come down to the 900 marker and break it? And do I get to go short? Do I want to play short before 900? Risky, but consideration is there for it. We shall see. We shall see. Well, thank you, Christian. Yeah, go for it. I haven't even tried it. I want to see if it works. So if you're trying it, that'll be great. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we go above. I know that it'll work to give you the discount, but let's see if it follows through. The team tried it and said it worked, so I trust the team. 30,030 points still has not been breached. Rapid oscillating signals, PTC pattern, potentially about to engage. Does it engage on the long side? If we're left with the up triangle, we need the next bar with the double green dots rising, but that's the bar that I'd want to buy to trade up to 75. And then above 75, there's another 200 points before the next resistive area on the NQ. So that's the long side setup. Below 975, there might be a shortable moment, but the better short still resides down in the lower 900s to trade down to 800. And Teresa, I am not. And Kemi, the link to buy the FFF account, just go to the FFF site. Folks are asking. I'll just see if I can pull it up here. Give me a second. I want to keep my focus on the trade. Hold on. We'll do that in a bit. It's not giving in, right? It's just not giving in. Each time it has the opportunity to break the 1 minute chart MSR channel bottom, it's not breaking. Okay, now we got a down signal. I am somewhat tempted to take the short below 75. If I'm doing that, I'm trading it down to about 55, the center of the MSR channel on the 5 minute chart. but really below the 960, 955 area, it can get going. It can get going to the downside. It's still so choppy and sloppy. If I got a moment here, I'll show you what I can. So I just went to the fundedfuturesfamily.com website, and that's what it'll look like. Okay. And then I selected the smallest account, Velocity, 25K. You pick whatever you want. And if I hit the Get Funded button, select Wealth Charts, add to cart. And if I go to the cart, right here, I can just type in ZIAD, my first name, hit apply, and boom, massive discount. Okay, so there it is for you. Keme, it's fundedfuturesfamily.com. Okay. Still waiting. This is like, you know, the amount of chop that's happening right now is crazy. Well, it's not crazy. It just feels crazy in the moment. Now, are we teeter-tottering coming? We're on a sell signal on the 5-minute chart. That's a triple S sell. We still have the backdrop of the hourly charts, a slow momentum line tilted up. Gold and silver are still going. Gold is at new highs on the day. Silver is just coming off its higher high on the day. I think it tagged 63 bucks or there and abouts. It's at 62.85, and silver is up 5.2%. Hi-ho silver. I really do hope that insight helped a lot of folks. You know, you heard it on Monday, you heard it yesterday, and you're seeing it today bloom in true fashion. Here's a down that seems to happen, seemingly taking me down to the 9. Okay, and I feel like I've missed it, but I'm trying it right here. There's a risk of a snapback up above the center of the MSR channel, which is now happening. We are in a down signal with the double red dots. The bar is not closed, so potentially this is a PTC sell pattern ready to go. I'm going to give it a moment, but if we get back up into the channel, especially if we get above the speed lines, the trade's dead. Then I have to get out of the way. Otherwise, right now, I'm going to stick with it. I'd like to add to it. Looking for a whoosh down towards the 925-ish area. 25 points is what I'm looking for, but it's not materializing yet. PTC patterns engageable, 1 bar below the channel, double red dots are there. It's a high probability pattern, but it's against a backdrop that is still 1-hour charts risk on, still dealing with support on the 5-minute chart. So not ideal. And if we come back up into the channel like we are right now, I'm going to have to probably take my L on this. Or do I be patient and wait? Now, we are seeing the slow motion erosion. So I'm obviously choosing to wait. ES is consistent with the NQ. It's not in the PTC pattern. The ES is on a sell, though, right? It's on a sell. You can see it right over here. It's on a sell. It's below its MSR channel bottom. It's on a. It's potentially going to, confirm a PTC pattern on the 5-minute chart, but I need to see action below the bottom of the channel, which is now at 7,800, 7,801. Okay, looks like waiting made some sense. Let's see if we get a little more out of this. No, it's barely sustaining profit positivity, but there you go. Got a little bit more. Let's see if we can get more out of this down to 25. There should be another 15 points lower. Should be. Doesn't mean I don't want to take profit. I'm waiting. Let's see. There we go. Let's get a little lower low. It doesn't want to break, right? But that's the area where it should come down. It should actually breach 25 on its journey down right now. And thank you very much. I'll take my profit there. Did anyone else get that trade? There's still more to go potentially. If you got the trade, let me know. I'm already seeing I'm seeing dozens of responses. Yes. Amazing. I'm happy to hear that, folks. Kudos to you. Okay, round two. Potentially round two. Where am I going to take it? I'm going to wait for 900, 905. Right? We've already discussed where that short below line is. We've come down. That trade worked out. We're in the PTC pattern. I disconnected from the trade. I'm going to re-engage with it, probably below 900. And those that are still in it, you're just doing gangbusters right now. It's working wonderfully. I am hesitant to take it on this big drop bar because usually there won't be follow through. We're testing a support line. So this is a profit taking moment for the original trade that I took for those who had held it. Now come back down at it again. Close above 900. Come back down at it on the next 1 minute bar. I'm game. And again, brought to you by the Triple S PTC pattern, pre-trade conditioning pattern. It went live on the 10:20 a.m. Eastern time bar right there at 960, and it delivered 60 points. Now, I'm not assuming everyone caught the whole thing, but if you got a piece of it, amazing. Which I saw so many of you did, which is great. And the rule has changed, Lawrence. It's 10 seconds now. It's 10 seconds. Okay, so I just caught your comment in the chat there. It's hard to keep up with the chat, so I apologize if I respond in delayed fashion. But the rule has changed with FFF. They're just a great company, just doing great work. Oh, that's great, Christian. Thank you. Okay, so did we unravel? No. We came right down to the support structure, breached it. So I think that we're from a champion trend pack toolkit standpoint, we're expressing the vulnerability of this support structure by breaching it, but it's not broken, right? You have a tail perforating it, piercing through below, and then reversing back up. We are in a sell signal state. We're still in the PTC pattern on the 1 minute chart, but remember the backdrop, right? If I want to short and have that be my dominant, directional trading strategy on the day, I really would like my 1 hour chart, a slow momentum line on the Triple S tool to be pointed down. It's pointing up, as you can see in the bottom left-hand side of your screen. So it's crossfire, if you will. Doesn't mean you can't succeed trying a short. It's just not amazing. Okay, let's see if we get another opportunity here. We're coming back down towards the bottom of the 5 minute chart MSR channel. It sits at 25. We're at 35. And the tactic that I can use here is to reshort it below 25, but stay very close to it, and then look for it to break 900. And below 900, it's not a free fall to 800. There are some minor support structures along the way, but it's a lot cleaner. We're not there yet, just theorizing, just planning, getting our plans together. And what we have to have the plan on the other side. What if the market decides to rip right back up? Well, the number is 30,025. That's where the champion trend sell zone trail line is. And by the way, that sell zone trail line, remember that golden nugget I gave you during the Wealth 365 Summit? If I was in a short right now and holding it, I would not be adding to it. The champion trend sell zone trail line is flat. I want to see it kink down. So we're in wait mode right now. I'm guessing that there's several of you sitting in shorts. So be very careful. You see the 1 minute chart, price action pop up. And I know it's a lot of points, but even if it gets above the center of the MSR channel, I'd be worried about that short. Otherwise, below 925, I'm considering entering, re-entering, and going in. Hey there, Gene. And we are getting very close to the center of the hour. So, Alexis, that's a good point. Okay, still waiting. Feels like slow motion erosion, but we don't want to trust that feeling. We want to trust what we see actually happening here. So if we get a breach back down below the bottom of the 5 minute chart's MSR channel, we'll be below the slow speed line on the hourly chart, and we'll have a path paved to continue lower. So I will try the short below 25 likely. I'd like to see some more acceleration, somewhere around 25, 20. I'll try the short. And then if we come directly down below 900, I might add to the short. Getting closer. And I'm in. Fingers on the trigger to add to the trade. If we bust 900, I'll try to catch it as it busts. If it does, we'll see. Added another contract. And I'm past my 10-second marker, and I am going to be taking $85 of profit. Did anyone get that trade? Give me a lucky number 7 in the chat if you did. We did it calmly, coolly, methodically. Okay, is there more to go? Yes. If one is still in it, it's still a hold. If it pops back up above 95, 90-ish, I'd be worried. I want to re-enter the trade myself, and I want to find that re-entry that's optimal if the market gives it to me. We should get a reversal that back tests 90. There it is. There it is. Okay, now back below 85 to 80, I can try it again. I'm in again. And we're playing the range down to 800. I'm not seeing it be very effective here at accelerating lower, but PTC is ready to go. There's a little bit of a lower low. I passed my 10-second marker. I'm in 20 seconds. Guess what I'm going to be doing? Right there. Another profitable trade. So that one lasted about 24 seconds. So what I'm demonstrating is that I'm able to take pieces of the move. We are able to take pieces of the move. The alternative is you set it and you trail, right? You set it and you trail. And the target area, I want to be very specific with this right now. So let me just get that work done for you right now. NQ, 5-minute chart. Where's my 5-minute chart with my structures? There we go. Okay. All right, everyone. Here's where we're coming down to. We've already come down to a volume point of control line that's important. It's at 865. That's where I took profit last. The bottom of the 2 standard deviation channel is sitting at 840. Below 865, 840 is the next target. Below 840, the wheels have fallen off the bus. And we're coming down towards 800 or lower. Okay, so we're below 865, valid to either be in the short, re-enter the short with a tight stop, because this is an area of support. It's a local low area, so be careful. Okay, my next trade that I'm going to choose to take on will probably be below 840, 835 to play down to 800 or 775. Okay, I just want to be very, very explicitly clear about my plan here. And I'm under no illusion that it has to work, right? We're just working a plan. Note that the champion trend pack has given us a stage 3 of the sell sequence that we're in, right? We had champion trend, champion cross, wealth signal appeared, breakout forecasters appeared, but on the current bar, we're seeing prices rise above the speed lines. There's no breakout forecaster. But this trade was really brought to you by the combination of the incredible tools Rob has built, winning 37 real money competitions, and the tools that I built together. You're getting the oscillative PTC pattern. You're in a champion trend sell zone. Champion cross went live again after having some discontinuity. Wealth signal came in, which is that orange ball. We did have a little back test of the falling MSR channel. We never closed in the upper half. And down we started to come, and you heard me say, if I want to short again, I want to see that champion trend sell zone line kink down. It was a perfect play. It's not following through right now, but that's a market. Are we actually in the spot where it's going to heal and turn back up again? That's doubtful. Are we in a counter trend bounce on a 1-minute chart? Probably. And Sharon, that's accurate. All right, that's effectively... That's, off this chart, right, Sharon? So yesterday, into the end of the day, right, where was my 5 p.m. bar? 4:45, there's 6. So somewhere in here, okay, was the official close of futures market yesterday. We back tested it and ran overnight. We came back and back tested it as support and went up. We got extended above the top of the channel, and we've come down below a volume point of control line that's important, 900 roughly, which you've heard me talk about ad nauseum already. And at this stage now, I am looking for 840 to be breached in order to say, you've had your chance. Validated it as support here, ran up 9:30 p.m. onwards. Validated it as support here, 4:45 a.m. roughly, ran up, made a higher high. It is an uptrend. If we're coming back down to the 840 or lower area, it's coming down with intent to break, right? It's coming down with intent to break. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this chart off screen. And I haven't talked about the interplay between the ES and the NQ as much, but the NQ is in charge. The ES is, I don't want to leave it behind, right? We had a great, $200-300 short on it earlier. A lot of folks caught that one. I remember that from earlier in the session. We are in the PTC pattern, and it's confirmed. Double red dots are there below the MSR channel. So we need a minimum of 3 triangles. We got more than that, separated by no more than 6 bars. We're left with a down. We want to see price action below the bottom of the MSR channel with the double red dots. It went live right there. Okay, so the ES is status quo. It's in a standing short. Can I do it again? I'm trying it right now. I want to be careful because I know the Nasdaq's in charge here. And if the Nasdaq decides to pull me up, I'm going to get out of the way, but I've got some profit. Now it's flat to slight loss. Let's see if I get some profit out of this. There should be a whoosh here down to about 87. Okay, I'm taking my profit. I took half a point. If you're in the trade, 87 is the target. I want to go back to the Nasdaq. I want to see that positive momentum shift at around 853 to be breached. That's what you're talking about, Sharon, I think. Let's see if I get that breach. Fingers on the trigger. Buttons depressed, but I'm not unclenching it. This is the resumption trade, effectively. Is the sequence going to resume? I've got my double red dots. I've even got a third one in there, which is a negative momentum shift. Okay, here we go. And we've tagged it. We breached it. I'm in. Be very careful. This is also where the market likes to take you right to the edge of the abyss and say, everything's going to fall apart, and it rips the face right off, right? So I'm going to start off with one small micro. I'm going to see if I can add to it. 840 is the number that I really wanted to trade below, but I'm seeing an opportunity, so I'm trying it. And guess what I'm going to do below 840, 835? I'm probably going to add to the trade. If the market gives it to me, if it starts to go bad on me, I'm not going to stay with it if the ship is not going in the right direction. Okay, here we go. I want something more stable to add to here. I'm not getting it. The trade was profit positive. Now it's slightly negative. It's coming right down to the area where there is support. Okay, there is support. But like I said to you, we've been here before. We've seen this movie before. This is a story of coming down to break it. We've validated this area as support, roughly in and around the 850 to 825, 800, 815-ish area. Coming back down into it is really all about breaking it at this stage, but I'm not seeing it break. My trade's not doing a whole bunch here. It's nothing burger so far. Slight loss, but slight loss can get away from you, so be careful. I'm out. Had to take a $20-odd loss on that one. That's okay. I'd rather not be in it if it's not going my way. I know that 840, 800, 840 to 815 may be a more opportune area for the short. I knew that before. I took an opportunity. It was profit positive slightly. Didn't end up working out. Got out of the way. No emotional response. Just mechanical. Yeah, discretionary trading, of course, but still mechanical. Okay, coming back into it. Fingers on the trigger. Buttons depressed. I'm waiting for the breach of that green ball, white line. In the trade. Out of the trade. Nope, don't want that reversal. I don't want to be any part of that. Something happened. Obviously, there's some buyers lurking here that are still trying to get filled. So I've had two whacks at this area. What do I want to do? Wait. Wait for what? $810 or 800? 810 or 800? I've tried it twice. I didn't manage it very well. One who's already in the short, it's still valid. I think I'm going to take my next attempt in the lower 800s. I may change my mind on that. Let's see. It's still valid as a short. If the bar reverses to red right away, I might want to try it, but I just don't want to be part of this weepiness, right? We're not at the start of a down move. It's already well entrenched. It's about a continuation of the down here. And the continuation could take us down towards the 775, 765 area. So do I need to get it at 825? Do I need to get it at 815? Can I wait and be patient enough to get it below 800? Assuming I have the acumen to catch it if it's whooshing. I'm just running through the live stream of questioning I'm giving myself out loud, as you normally hear me do. Usually it's cogent information. And if it ever ends up being babble, you can always tell me in the chat, stop babbling. Okay, I'm speaking of the chat. I'm looking. Whoa, my mouse is going a little crazy here. Okay. Yeah, after what I'm seeing here right now, I'd need to see it drop fast towards 815 or bust. I'm not, that's why I'm flat right now. So no trade. I like your handle, unlawful ban. I don't think there are any. Just come here every day. Okay, let's see if we get back to it now. Breach back down below the 825 area opens the door for shorting again. Those that are still short right now, be careful. A counter trend bounce has been attempted. It has not been successful as of yet. We are in still a high probability short sequence or sell sequence brought to you by the Champion Trend Pack Toolkit and the Triple S Toolkit and that incredible PTC pattern. We've already had great success on the way down. I've seen so many folks tell me that they've done well. Brad E., what was your question? I'm not sure if I saw it, but I'll see if I can find it. The channel. So the channel is a moving support and resistance tool. You're talking about the MSR channel, Brad? Just confirm that because I can weave that conversation into the, yeah, okay. So the MSR channel it's a very responsive support and resistive tool that can help us identify re-entries, changing and changes in direction, and basic trend. Now, one of the things that I haven't shown you yet, which I will try to feature after 11 a.m., is I remember locking myself in a room for 3 months and programming with the team the Wealth Charts Invest Pulse AI tool, where I actually have got dozens of examples on how to trade exclusively with the MSR channel, just price in the MSR channel or price in the speed lines of the MSR channel. And those that have Ultimate Wealth Chart memberships, you have access to the AI, and it's an incredible learning tool. So many folks continue to tell me and provide me feedback on it, saying that, hey, it fit the bill for them. So I'm going to see if I can pop that up a little later and literally ask it, teach me how to trade with the MSR channel. But while we're talking about it here, the channel is sloping down. We're below price action. Price action is below the channel. We're below the channel on the 5-minute chart, but not against the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart, the signals, the current status of the signal tends to have a signal throw of 3 to 6 hours into the future. We're seeing the up signals go stale, but we're still dealing with the rising support of the channel on the 1-hour chart. But the turning of the ship is evidenced by the 5-minute chart, especially the Triple S line starting to slope down, the channel starting to slope down. And the version of the MSR channel that I'm using here is the technical damage tool. So when the channel is green, technicals are more effective. When the channel is magenta, technicals are a little less effective. So right now, even though we've got sell signal after sell signal on each 1-minute bar and against and above the 5-minute bar, we're not seeing this thing drop. We've got technical damage, but we are in a sell signal state. We burnt through a lot of sell juice on a very short-term time frame basis, like under an hour, right? We started turning down around 10 a.m. And here we are. In order for a continuation to happen over here, there either is a counter trend bounce that pulls us up no more than halfway of the range, and then we get batted back down, or we sit in a sideways range or what may look like a coil near lows, and then the bottom falls out. Those would be the two standard likely outcomes here. So what I'm seeing happening right now, which involves the channel, is we will probably try to come up. If we break that slow speed line, which we're trying to, we will probably come up into the lower half of the MSR channel, or just test the very bottom of it and then get whack-a-mole back down. Now, that's not quite 50% of a retracement of the range. It's about a third, which is fair game. Yeah, everything went well yesterday, Michael K. feeling good. Trading is going well. Positive accounts. Can't complain. My son's with me this week now, which makes things amazing. He has a dentist appointment today at around 3:30, but it's for the braces. I just want to find out whether or not they're supposed to be coming off. And he's a handsome boy. It's going to be trouble. I know it, but the braces are coming off very soon, and then I'm going to force him to, either wear what I failed to do after I had my braces, which my parents toiled to work to save money to put. I didn't wear the retainer. I didn't get a wire underneath, and everything moved around. So I remember that mistake, and I'm not going to let him make it. Exactly, Simon. Every day above grass is a good day. I hear you, man. When I had my braces on, it was a long time ago now, during high school, and I'm actually semi-professional trumpet player, jazz bands. I like the Miles Davis style of jazz, Latin jazz, Cuban, Afro-Latin jazz, that kind of stuff. And I'm classically trained as well with the Royal Conservatory. I was actually going to do it as a career, believe it or not, until I got smacked upside the head by my dad, who turned around and said, son, you're very technically gifted. You're not musically gifted. He's right. He was right. Julian is actually musically gifted. And he plays the guitar. But I remember going through the struggle of having to put like wax and paper on the braces when I was playing the trumpet. It was very painful. Okay, so now I get your specific question, Brad. If we look above and pull back below the center, that can be considered fail. If we look below and pull back up above the center, that can be considered a fail. Okay, that's the earliest part where you can consider a fail. I remember, Scott, you were telling me Miles changed everything. Miles Davis changed everything. So did Charlie Parker. So did Monk. But I like Duke Ellington. I like, it's very eclectic. And of course, Louis Armstrong, the Godfather, Satchmo. And exactly, Rajan, this is just a different style of music. I've kind of related it to music, right? When you're looking at multiple time frames, multiple asset classes, you're looking at the sheet music for the entire orchestra and trying to be the maestro, right? But getting excellent on one instrument first is mandatory. So Brad E, did you hear my answer on that? I hope that was fairly clear, right? So if we poke up above the top of the channel here and then come back down below the center, it's probably going to fail, right? That would be the idea. If we just come into the lower half and push back down again, that is a overt failure, and vice versa on the other side. Okay, here we go again. Triple S is below the bottom of the channel. Bearish cross on the spike 2.0. Headed down towards the positive momentum shift at recent lows. Those that are short right now, amazing. Those that are looking for a re-entry short, the breach of that positive momentum shift, green ball, white line, could become the opportunity. That's what I'm considering right now. The area that we would be targeting would be look left, 1 hour chart, bottom of the champion cross buy zone, 770. Champion trend buy zone trail line, 710 roughly. And those are on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, here we go. Fingers on the trigger, buttons depressed. Let's see if we breach. We're coming at it fast. We probably will. I've taken on the trade. It's not gone profit positive right away. Don't like my trades when they don't go profit positive right away. There's usually some problems with the entry. I've not calculated it right, but I'm still in this one. I'd like to be able to build it below 800. Not seeing that opportunity at this stage. Not risking a lot either at this stage. We're into the end of the hour. During that little discount window to understand how the market's going to behave, it's a little, it's a little off this morning because we had an up into 10 a.m. We had a down after 10 a.m. The majority should be skewed slightly to the short side for the volume that comes off the tape at 11. So we have moved down during this window from 1047 to 1053 predominantly, which should spell out more downside risk into the end of the hour, but it's not certain. So I'd be very careful here because this is not working out. And if we pop up above the fast speed line here, it can just simply poke above and reverse back down, poke above, test the slow speed line and reverse back down. I don't know if I want to be on the ride at that time. If it comes down directly below the low here, that gives me permission to add, but there's your trade. I'm hopeful people are in it. Hopefully you've done well. And I am taking my profit actually because we've pretty much hit my target line. Who got that trade? Who got that trade? Give me a lucky number 7 in the chat if you got that trade. And you can, oh, wow. Amazing. Well done, folks. So as you can tell, day over day, the more we're together, the more we get comfortable with each other, the more clear the insight will be to add to your arsenal for execution. It's not going to be perfect every day. Goodness knows it's not going to be perfect every day, but the opportunity is there. And ES traders, what are we coming down to? 77.75. Remember, we talked about that first thing this morning. We've already been down here. We've already validated this as support. If we're coming down to it again, we're coming down to it to break it. Well, that's amazing. Wow. So many of you got that. Good job. That's amazing. So the target was 775, right? So that was the first target. That was an exit area, 775 to 760, as mentioned right before the drop. Champion cross buy zone bottom. And now below roughly 760, the opportunity to play down to 705 may present. May. I just want to see if there's any other structures in the way from the 4-hour chart. No. Yes, actually. $740 may have some support. Daily chart, no, it's fine. Ultimately, what we're doing over here is what I discussed yesterday, okay? And it's just happening in slow motion. I don't know that it will follow through, but I remember someone asked that really smart question and summarized what I was talking about yesterday, where I said, hey, if we come up to the 29,800, I think it was a lady named Cindy. Cindy, if you're here, good job on that yesterday. My insight was summarized by her as, okay, we come up to about 29,800, start to falter there, come back down to 29,500, and then bounce back up again. Now, we obviously overextended the 800 marker and did so again today. We came up to that next band of resistance, but we were not able to sustain above it. And that number was 30,025 points. We were above it temporarily. We've reversed back down below a set of volume point of control lines, below the 29,800 marker. These are the first things you heard me say this morning. And in the videos I issued this morning, below that 29,800 marker, down, down, down we can go to 29,500. So is that journey afoot? Yeah, it's happening in slow motion. So here we are into the end of the hour. Were you able to get something out of this market morning, folks? Because we're going to take a quick break as we convert hours, and then the floor is going to be open for Q&A. So it looks like folks have done fairly well here from what I've seen along the ride. Wes, I'm proud of you, man. Good job. When you have a day where you can actually write back to me and go all wins, amazing, impressive, very impressive. And there's lots of Wes's here, so and both Wes's proud of you, and to everyone else that's writing in right now. It's you, man. It's not me. I'm just here to provide the objective, logical knife, right? And then execution has to. You own that, right? You own it. But I'm super happy to see so many folks responding in the chat right now that have done well. So I don't know if I'd take full profit at 75 if I'm going to continue to manage the trade. If I was still in the trade and I wanted to manage it, my strategy would be to take it all out and then re-enter again below 760. That would be the idea. Okay, folks. So it looks like folks have done very well. And absolutely, shy Kate, sure. I can do that. I can help explain it. So what we do in the market mornings over here, and we've got a very large audience here each morning. So the chat's flying by all the time, right? So it's hard to keep track of every single comment, but I try my best, and I'll round up, of course. But what you've got available with me now from 11 roughly to 11:30 is pure Q&A. We can still look for trades. We can still manage positions, but it's your time to pick my mind. You have the opportunity to ask me questions under the entire spectrum of active investing. It can be related to administrivia. How do I find this? How does the layout work? I know, Naveed, you were asking something earlier. You can bring that back up. And I know that there's lots of folks that are brand new to our fold that need to know how to just get things up and running. I can help a little bit with that, point you to the right areas to get, put that into overdrive for yourself. And of course, I can explain technical strategies, technical indications, and all of that kind of stuff. So guess what? We're going to take a little break. I don't think it's going to be too long of a break. Let's say about 5, 6, 7 minutes max. I'll get a little refreshment of today it's green tea. It's not coffee. So I'll go get I'll go get a coffee. I mean, I'm like, I need more caffeine. No, I'm going to go get a green tea. And then we'll get started again. So I'll just put a little banner up right now, and then we'll continue the conversation. And Ollie, no, today breakfast is well in. I'm feeling good. It was to make it sound as sexy as it can. What organic steel cut rolled oats. It's just oatmeal, but it was really good oatmeal actually. So I'm it sticks to your bones. Remember that commercial? For those who are of my age or older, that was a Quaker Oats commercial, if I remember. All right, folks, let's take a break because I'm starting to babble, obviously. So I want to stop babbling and I want to get back into live trading, answering questions, etc. with you. But it's been a great morning. I'm profit positive. I hope that you're profit positive. I hope you're able to get something out of this market morning that was significant for you. And looking forward to building on that up mid triple digits plus in the account that I've traded in front of you, which is good. Looking forward to building on that as I move through the day and in my other accounts as well. And we'll take a little pause right now and come back for, let's say, 11:10 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. And then the back 20 minutes, have your questions ready. You can start putting them in the chat now. I'm going to leave my desk for a few minutes and I'll come back and I can sort through them and we can just hit the road and start answering questions if you have them. If not, my focus will be to provide you my outlook on where things are likely going to go and where there are trading opportunities as we move through the day. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be back here with you very shortly. All right, folks, I'm back. Hope the break was sufficient. And I'm looking at getting back on the horse here with you. We got some really good questions in during the break. So I think, Freddie, you're asking about stop loss methodology. CR, you're asking about, trades not working or work. I like them to work right away. And if I don't, what kind of leeway do I give? And Ken T, I think you asked about the CTP toolkit and the Spike 2.0, how they work together. And I've got a great video to teach you on that. And I'll make some comments, of course. And I just read through the chat and I saw that, so many results that folks have put in. JT, that's an amazing result on the day for you, man. Like you did really well. Nice 4-digit gain. So very happy for you. And I'm seeing, that there's a bunch of comments that came in, and I think some questions came in earlier as well. Just do me a favor, put them back in the chat if they're pressing questions, because I'm going to start working through some of those questions as we go right now. So I think the first one that I'm going to tackle is stop loss methodology. So Freddie, the hard part with stop loss methodology is you're in a market that has become a lot more volatile, and the moves are not, this is not a normal market, but this is the market, right? So we have to expect, the unexpected. One of the ways that I think that you can utilize the MSR channel, which we were talking about a little earlier. I know Brad E was asking about the MSR channel earlier, right? You can use the MSR channel and the speed lines to help you with your stop loss methodology. Now, if you're, which means that you're probably going to have a standard number of ticks that you're going to have in your bracket order for your stop loss or your buy stop if you're shorting. And then you can manually move it around on the screen. But the way that I would do it is, let's say I wanted to go short right now, okay, on against this 1 minute chart right now, if I wanted to go short, okay. And if I want to protect myself and have something that is valid to stop me out, if I get stopped out, it's valid, it would be action that comes up above the top of the channel. So I would have, right click on your screen, make sure that you have on your global chart settings, indicator values should be turned on, so that whenever your crosshairs are on the screen, you're going to see the value of the top, the center, and the bottom of the MSR channel. Okay, so I'd be stopped out of that short right now if it poked above there, and that would be valid, right? If I took the short on this last bar over on the last close 1 minute bar, and I wanted to protect myself, if action is coming back up above the top of the channel, I don't want to be in the trade. Right now, similarly, if I was using the same methodology, let's say I was trading this time frame, this chart. If I'm in a short on that 5 minute chart and price action comes back up into the bottom of the MSR channel, I can use that to act as my buy stop and protect me. Right? Because if we're coming back up into the channel, I don't want to be in a short. If we're coming up above the center of the channel, I might actually be considering going long. If we're coming up above the top of the channel, I might be considering long, right? So Freddie, the cleanest, quickest, and most powerful way to do this is with the channel. Now, sometimes price is very far away from the channel, making it not as usable, right? So for instance, let's go over here. Let me bring up another chart here. Hold on. Okay, let's bring up the ES for a second here. Okay. And let's say I was in a short on the ES from back here, from right back here. Let's say I was in a short. This is a 5 minute chart of the S&P E-minis. Let's say I was in a short from back here, right? I would have had the stop being, let's say I took it somewhere, below the channel. I would have had the stop somewhere above the top bottom lip of the channel. And as it progressed lower, we're far away from the channel. I'm not going to be able to use the channel as my stop loss methodology. It just doesn't make sense to have 10, 11 points of risk on the ES. But the speed lines then come in as my guide and my helper to tell me, hey, if price action comes back up above both the speed lines, in this case, the fast speed line is at 77.86 and 3 ticks. It's slightly above the slow. I can have my stop objectively set a smidge above there. To help me, but you can then manually manage it and drag the stop loss up or down as you move forward. That would be the best insight that I can give you. Let me know if the message is received, and then I'm going to move on to the next question. And Gus, that was helpful. And Freddie, yeah. So think about the MSR channel and the speed lines as your helpful partner to set your stops. It's a good methodology to do so. And as you get more and more familiar with it, you'll start to get cleaner with, hey, do I want the bottom? Do I want the center? Do I want the top? And it also depends on risk tolerance as well. How much are you willing to risk? Okay. So the next question I think came from Ken T, and it was on the Champion Trend Pack Toolkit. But there might be an opportunity for a trade here as well. So I'm just letting you know, folks, I might be interested in shorting it below 825. I think we're going to come down and breach it. So I'll just take a pause on the Q&A for a moment here and see if there's something to do here. This is also a springboard, right? You've got the green ball, white line. Okay, we broke through it. I chased it. That was a bad entry. I did not focus enough, but we have breached it. So I am expecting some progress here. I'm only doing it with 1 micro, so I'm not really risking a whole bunch here. Trades profit positive, goody goody. I'm past my 10 seconds and I'm taking my profit. Thank you very much. Just wanted to make sure that you saw that as an opportunity. Those that are still managing it, you're managing it down to the low. Okay. And the next trade that opens up, I think, is probably better, not just right below the positive divergence, not right just below the low. I think it's closer to 760 that, it can open up a lot more downside. So I would leave a little, I'd have a little patience below 786 before I'd be interested in shorting it, if it so should materialize. So the Spike 2.0 tool and the Champion Trend Pack work very well together. And I've got a dedicated video on how to do this. You go over to the hamburger menu. Okay, so Ken T, let me know if you're here, because I am addressing your question, and I know it'll help others as well. But just let me know that you're listening in. So I want to make sure. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Okay, so you go to the hamburger menu, you go over to the education section. Where is my education? Right there. Education section. You go to Wealth Charts TV. That's the on-demand section for Wealth Charts, right? On-demand video learning. I'm just going to make that full screen here. In the very top left-hand side, you've got hold on a second here. I want to see if I want to take this short on the ES below 75. I'm trying it below 75. I entered at 73. I'll manage it and see where it goes. But while not to distract too much, right here, the prop trader training module is where you want to go. And in that module, there's a video. It's got my name right up front in it, right there. Okay, click on that video. I'm just going to mute it here. And in this video, okay, that trade just delivered $600 of profit. And I am now going to take as much of that profit as I can, I'm trying to do it on screen. I didn't maximize it, but I'm flattening it out right now. Okay. I got it at 770. I got it at 77, 73. And it blipped down to 60, and I didn't maximize. I wanted to at least execute the exit in front of you, but I'm hopeful that folks got that, got a piece of it at least. Okay, so in this video, always exciting times in the market. Min, you got it. Well done. Gus, did you get it? Wow. Yeah, Ollie, you got it too. Oh, Tom, you got on it. Awesome. Wow, lots of folks got it. That's amazing. Okay, Ken T, I'm so sorry. A little bit of excitement, of course, there. So that's always nice to have, right? Okay, so let's go back now. That ended up being about a $400 trade for me, which is pretty darn good. Yeah, no complaints. Just shy of 400 bucks. Not bad. Okay. Okay, so now this video, it breaks out the big 5 indications that are part of the Champion Trend Pack, and it shows you how they work in a sequence together in stages. And as you get through examples on just how to use the Champion Trend Pack itself, then I layer on specifically in this video how to use it with the Spike 2.0 tool. It's around the 1 hour, 40 minute mark, if I'm correct, somewhere around there. Yeah, right there. right there. I start discussing it around the 1 hour 40-minute mark. And what I do is I break out for you in a lot of detail how the Spike 2.0 tool works in and of itself, to where bearish moves start, where they continue, where they're extreme, where they're going to reverse and turn into a bullish move, so on and so forth. And give you the breakdown of what the lines are, how does it work around the channel, what does it mean for the move that you're in, and then I combine it with the champion trend pack to show you how it's signaling the trigger to enter. This is I've been told is an excellent video for those that are interested in trying to learn how to put the two together. So what I would suggest, right, because I don't think I'm going to have enough time to do a full lesson on it in this session. I would suggest spending the half hour, which I think this segment is a half hour. If you've got the champion trend pack down, then you can just skip to the hour and 40-minute mark and watch the insight with the Spike 2.0 tool. And then I also combine it with the speed lines near the end of the video here as well. So you get a full picture here. The one thing that I wish I had done, but it was a little much to add in there, was the MSR channel in this video itself. But this gives you really good insight on how to use the speed lines, how to use the Spike 2.0, and the champion trend pack all together. So please watch it. It will help you immensely. It's apparently helped a lot of folks along the ride. So I'll leave that there. Now, the next question, I think, was from CR. George, you nailed it. I'm happy that you got it, my friend. I'm happy that you got it. Abdi, you got it too. So many folks got that that was just a gift, was it not? It was a gift. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like maybe I'd get 100 to 200 out of it at most, and I'd be waiting. But we got this, slam down, and it reversed back up. But clearly we are on the righter side of the thinking. Okay. So CR, your question was regarding, the comment that I make all the time is, when I've done the work right and I take a trade, my expectation is that trade is going to be profit positive right away. And if it's not within the first 3 seconds, okay, there's a problem. So your question to me is, well, how much leeway would you give, right? So in time leeway, it's a few seconds. In points leeway, it's hard for me to give you a standard number. It depends on the nature of the market move. It's always in a depends situation. But in general, if I'm trying to make $200 to $300 on a trade, if I go $100 in the hole, I'm not liking the situation that I'm in, and I'm more often going to bug out. That's what I've noticed about myself. If I'm doing a large trade with like 10 or 20 contracts on the NQ, obviously the number changes, but it's about a third of the profit goal that I have that I start to get nervous about being in the position, right? So that's the idea. And Tarek, the way that I trade in my personal life, in my public life over here, is manually. So I only trade the most liquid times of the day, or events that are likely going to bring a lot of liquidity into the market, like an earnings event, for example, or like a major announcement in the overnight session, for example, or a major geopolitical event, whenever it happens. And I actually trade it manually. So I'm literally there with redundancies, ready to get in and get out. So redundancies on internet, redundancies on accounts, so I can hedge against one if something goes wrong with an account, or something like that. I'm not recommending this. I'm just letting you know that that's what I do. So I actually do it. I guess you can say I trade without stops. It's not necessarily a great strategy, but what I do more frequently than anything else is I take small pieces of a move, right? And I keep banking. Now, it's not always a bed of roses, not always a profit positive day, but more often than not it is. And the way that I keep myself under check is, if I don't get the entire run, but if I get, let's say, half of that run in 3 pieces, I'm going to be happy with that because I know that that's a repeatable process for me. And for some folks, it's not going to be comfortable, right? For some folks, it's going to be, I got to just, take the, I need to get the majority of the move. I want to get in. I think it's going down. I'm going to ride it while it's going. And that's absolutely fine. I do that more in my swing trading life, not in my day trading life. Okay. So that would be the answer there. So, CR, to your question, 3 seconds is usually my time frame to see if it goes profit positive. And usually if it doesn't go profit positive in the first few seconds, the trade usually doesn't work out. And about a third of the profit goal is what I usually have in the forefront of my mind is the risk that I'm willing to tolerate. So CR, there you go. So 3 seconds and a third would be my answer, right? 3 seconds and a third is roughly what I use. That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. I've gotten comfortable with that, and I use that as a way to manage. Okay. And let's go on to the next question. So there were a bunch of other questions, folks. I know the chat's flown by, so I'm like scraping through it right now. Let's see. And we've only got a few minutes left, so I want to be choiceful in the one that I pick. I don't mean to not be able to do them all, but bring your question back tomorrow. If the question is important, I'm going to be here. I will answer it, or come to my session a midday on wealth charts, ask questions there. I can't find the one that I know that there was one other one that had some meat in it that could benefit a lot of folks, but I can't find it right now. Shai, can you explain your chart, the red dots, the white line, when you decide on entries, and can you get a layout code? Sure. So here's what I would do for layout code. Yeah, I know, Shai, you said you're new here, so you probably don't have the triple S indicator. So this layout might not work for you, but there are other layouts that can work really well. So let me see if I can find a good one here for you real quick. Give me a second, and then we can have the conversation. Looks like I've got it here. Yes. So this layout code that I'm putting into the chat is for wealth charts. You can import it. It'll have the Champion Trend Pack Toolkit, and it'll have the Wealth Chart member exclusive tools. So it doesn't involve having to have an add-on like the Triple S or the ITP or TRP. It's with your Wealth Charts membership. You'll be able to use this. It's got the Champion Trend Pack, and it's got the Wealth Chart member exclusive tools. So first things first is, Shai, I would go in and say, import the layout, and go up, as soon as you've imported it, on any chart that you open up on Wealth Charts, there's a little plus button up top here. That little plus button up top, you can click that plus button, and everything that's highlighted, well, every indication that's there, you can highlight, and you can see what it looks like on screen. Now, obviously, I don't have the time to talk you through all of the individual tools, but I'm going to point you to a section of the on-demand learning library that breaks out each of these tools. Go to the hamburger menu, okay? And Shai, let me know if you're getting this message, okay? And Tarek, that's an amazing result, man. I just read what you said here. Can I read that out loud to everyone? Because that's inspirational to folks that are new, right? It's not about me. It's about, hey, you've been able to use it to your advantage, which is amazing. So Tarek just wrote me in the chat. He just wrote me, I've been here for 3 weeks, and I see how you're in and out so far. I've gotten 5 past evaluations since I've been here. Thank you for your knowledge. It's amazing. So you're converting the insights. And Shai, you're here. So here you go. Go to Wealth Charts TV. Okay, go to Wealth Charts TV. Just plop that down. And there is a module or folder here called Wealth Charts Accelerator Classes. Wealth Charts Accelerator Classes. Go there, okay, and scroll down, and you're asking about things like the red dot and the white line. That's the momentum shift indicator. Guess what? There's a dedicated video on it. There's a dedicated video on the Spike 2.0. There's a dedicated video on the channel. There's a dedicated video on each of the individual Champion Trend Pack tools in here. So again, where you find that is Wealth Charts TV, which you get access to by going to the hamburger menu, education, Wealth Charts TV. Once you're in there, go over to the module or folder called Wealth Charts Accelerator Classes, and bingo, bango, there you go. So, you took another one? That's amazing. And David C., what do you say? What do you have for a trumpet? It is it's an expensive one. and no, I have two. I have two. I'll actually bring it up on camera tomorrow if you want to see it. But it's it needs to be used a little bit more. All right, folks, that's it for me for this market morning. Give me a lucky number 7 in the chat.
ZIAD,
Hey,
guys, lucky number 7 for ZIAD, guys.
All right, over to you.
Whatever you guys want. Yeah.
All right, Dave.
How you doing? I haven't talked to you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Profit positive day, almost 4 digits. Trading micros primarily, so things are going well.
That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad it's going well, man. We love all charts. Thank you for being on. We'll see you tomorrow, right?
We'll see you tomorrow. I'm here every day.
You're killing it.
Bye, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going, Jim.
You too, man.
All righty. Good morning, chat. How are you guys doing?